Okay. Welcome back to the podcast. We are ready to roll. How was your weekend?
It was long. I had to work, so I don't like working.
Cassidy had to work for once in her lifetime. Just
Hey,
kidding. She works all the time.
I actually probably don't ever stop working, but it just doesn't feel as much like work. And no one thinks that I work as much as I do, I don't think.
Well, people don't understand what it goes into YouTube and all this stuff. This is part of my I wish that this could be at a point where because it's like I go to regular work and then it's work on the weekends, which is like YouTube and all this stuff. And people are like, oh, what do you do with your time? You want to hang out? Do you want to do this? And it's like, well, I'm doing stuff. Like I'm working, and they're like, well, you're not working. And I wish that this could be like my weekly stuff, and then I could actually like do life things on the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really need to get into all this again because I feel like we talk about it all the time. But
No, I had a wedding, so that's like real people work. Not that YouTube isn't, but like when I say I have to go shoot a wedding and then edit all the photos, I feel like everyone understands that I'm working, and weddings are so draining.
this is okay. I guess we're gonna touch on this, even though we always talk about this. But um, I was gonna start with my car story, but we'll finish this topic first.
Okay.
I didn't realize that it was like not normal to feel completely drained after work.
Not to the level you feel like even after a wedding, like I'm drained from talking to people, but I'm not like mentally, physically. Like I don't.
Like, yeah, like I mean all of it, like mentally, physically. Like I just feel like my social battery is just like absolutely drained at the end of the day of work. And I just thought that was normal because you were just like going to work and like you're tired from the end of the day. But like I'm starting to realize that that's not normal. Like you feel like that because you're not really happy or like excited to be at work or doing the thing you love. Like it is normal to feel tired after work, yes, but not to like the point where like every single day you feel like absolutely you just want to go to bed
You're
like as soon as you
depressed.
get home and like that's it. Like I
I
didn't know that was go ahead.
I do think it's somewhat normal for different personalities, though. Like I do think some people will always feel that way, regardless of whether they love their job.
I agree to an extent, but I feel like if you really love what you're doing, sure, like you'll be tired, like physically at the end of the day, maybe a bit mentally and stuff too, but it's not like you need to go to bed or like you're just like dreading the next day. But like, I feel like if you're going to work doing something that you actually want to do, like it makes the day so much better and like fulfilling and like you just don't feel like as drained and like stressed out about the day. Like today, like, I mean, and yesterday, like I edited all day yesterday. Today, I was so excited to get up and podcast and record with you and do stuff. And like that's work, but it's fun and I enjoy it and I know that's what I want to do.
Yes.
And I don't feel like it's 11 o'clock. And if it was 11 o'clock on a work day, I got up at the exact same time like I usually do, essentially. All the same things are the same, but the work is different. And like I feel like I would have needed to take 3 naps by now already. Like if I was doing my regular job, like my regular job, I just feel like I want to come home and just nap because there's nothing. I don't know. It just drains me so much more than like doing something that I actually enjoy. And I don't think it's normal to come home and just be absolutely just wiped every single day.
I find it is normal for some personalities, but also I think some things that like affect that is if you have friends at work, things like that, and you really don't. And you don't really want to make friends, but I do think when you have people to talk to and like laugh with and like have friends, like it does help the day go by and like be less miserable.
But I think part of that too is like just enjoying your work, like enjoying the work you do and like the environment of the work. I feel like definitely builds on all of that. It's not solely just the work, like the whole environment, everything like this. I enjoy podcasting with you. I like enjoy podcasting with my friends and doing things and like being around the people I do. And then the actual work itself of podcasting, like I enjoy that. And there's nothing like, I was going to say nothing stressful about it, but like there is things because it's like, I got to get this done. I got to edit this.
You're always stressed about
But
it.
like, I don't feel absolutely just like, I need to go to bed and I need to like, I can't do anything for the rest of the day or
Yes,
tomorrow because it's just like,
I just think
I
there's
don't
a
know.
lot of elements to that, and it is partially you not liking your job, but I also think like if you had friends and like liked the environment, like if you did that, it would help and things like that. Like I didn't necessarily like serving, but I liked like we laughed at work and had fun at work.
I agree. And there was some jobs that I definitely like days were easier and stuff because it was like, you know, I enjoy going to working with the people all day or every day of the week because they're good people or like whatever. They're like similar age or we have similar, not even that, like similar interests or like just like.
But I think a lot of millennials will relate to you that like work is draining for a lot of them.
And I think the system is just really like, because you come out of high school, you go to work, realistically, you blindly pick something. 90% of people.
It's normally something that you're familiar, like you're just picking something that someone else does in your life.
Yeah, like I got into electrical-ish field because my dad did electrical stuff. It's not really because I picked it. It was something that I had kind of done and like experienced, but I just picked it, went to school for it, spent 2 years of my life, time and money, and then after 4 years of experience, then it's like, I don't really like this. And then it's like, well, do I go back to school now? And it's like, you could do that 5 times before you figure out what you actually want to do with your life. And by that time, you're like,
I think a lot of people will relate to that.
So much older.
But I also think a lot of people just like, even though they like hate their jobs, they like live for the weekends and like their like time off and like they just enjoy those. But you aren't that person. Like you spend your weekends working instead. Like you don't just like, okay, it's the weekend, let's hang out, let's do things. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy my life. You still spend it stressed about how not to be at work on Monday.
I just want to get my life to a point where I can like, and I'm sick of like putting this on people and like I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a different vibe than my usual anxiety. Maybe not.
I don't know. It's the same.
I don't know. I just want to get it to a point where like I can do this with my time, like my regular work week, and I'm sure eventually once it does get to where I want it to, it'll bleed into my weekends and stuff. But at least I'll enjoy it. And like if I want to say like, okay, I don't want to work Monday, Tuesday, I want to go to the lake, I want to go on a trip with you, I want to do something with my dad or whatnot, I can have that flexibility to do it and move my work day. I don't have to show up and like,
I get it,
go to a job I don't like and be on there like working that same day every single day for someone else and not really have the flexibility to do things with my life.
I get it. I quit my job. I dropped out of school, I quit my serving job, started a photography business, realized I hated that because I hated working every fucking weekend. So I quit that. Well, I still kind of do it. I don't like fully quit, but I'm mostly doing book too. It makes me probably the least amount of money out of all of those things.
I don't think. Well,
it
can't
has
say
potential to make me more money.
That's what I was going with, and I envy that you just had like the brain power and willpower to just do that. And like I wish I could, but I definitely could, but it's my own brain against me. For the most part, but I also feel like I'm just in a weird place where it's like I want to move out, but then I also want to chase my dream of doing this. But
my only thought is like if we move out, you're stuck, like you're truly stuck in that job forever.
That's
versus if you quit while we still lived at home and worked on something to maybe make yourself happier. And we lived another. Who cares? We live another 5 years at home. Like I don't fucking care.
5 years we'll be 30 some years old living at home.
I pretty much am already. 27 round up to 30.
No, 3 years is a lot. I like look back at like Snapchat memories and it's like 4 years doesn't feel like a lot, but then you get a picture and you come back to it and it's like, damn, that was 4 years ago. That felt like it was so long ago. Like, and it's like,
sorry, I wasn't listening because Miley was eating something that she shouldn't be eating.
It just feels like you get a Snapchat memory and it's like 4 years ago and it's like, damn, that felt like so long ago. But like you think about the next 3 years, like it's not a lot of time, but it's also a lot of time. Like you think back, it's like, damn, I was in such a different place 3 years ago, like when that picture was taken.
Yes, I agree with that. Time is something we made up.
It's not real.
It's not real. Okay, well, now that we talked about how my weekend sucked because I had to actually go to work and then all of that, what did you do this weekend?
My weekend didn't suck, but it kind of sucked in like a short period. Mainly editing, boring stuff for people, but then I had to go help Cassidy work her wedding. Yeah,
I had a very stressful wedding.
Which was all good. I stressed myself out about it, but so anyways, I was going to pick up my camera so that I could go to the wedding because we had to go to different places for the wedding. Cassidy had to go to A, I had to go to B, take our pictures, and then meet up later in the day. I was going to get my camera so that she didn't have to drop it off in the morning. We kind of streamlined our day a little bit. And halfway to Cassie's house, my car just exploded for no reason. So
exploded? It did not explode. It did not explode. It stopped working.
It absolutely exploded. The tires flew off. The hood popped up. window
His
shattered.
battery stopped working completely.
No, I was just driving down the road, and then all of a sudden, the radio just went dead, like, because it lights up. It just went completely dead. My dashboard went completely dead, and I was like, that's weird. And then I happened to be on the phone with my dad talking to him about something else, and I was like, Dad, I think you're gonna have to come get me because something's happening with my car. And then all of a sudden, just lights just started, more and more lights started turning off, and then the engine power just started dying, and then all of a sudden just rolling down the hill, and then stopped at the light.
Hill?
Yeah, I came down that hill at 66 to those lights.
Okay.
And then it just, boom, dead. And then I couldn't even put my hazards on because I had absolutely no power. So people were like parking behind me, and I was like waving them, go past. And then one guy was being an asshole, and he pulls in front of me. He's like, turn on your hazards. Like, I got no power on my car, bro. I can't turn it on. And he's like, well, turn them on anyways. I was like, what do you mean turn them on anyways? I can't turn them on. There's no power in my car. And then, yeah, the guy was just being an asshole. Like, the least you could do is, like, I don't know, ask if I'm okay, or, like, help me, or, like, give me a boost, or, like, do something. But these guys just yelling at me because my car is broken down. Like, what do you want me to do, bro?
Welcome to Berta.
And then I'm blown away by how many people don't know what hazards mean. Like, once we got my kind of car going, the battery was charging on the side of the road, my hazards were on, and people were just sitting there like I was going to go. Like, my hazards mean go around me, and they're just sitting there waiting for me to go and honking. It's like, bro, my hazards are on. Go around.
It's hard.
Like, there's people, I don't know.
I feel like it's hard now because I feel like people use hazards incorrectly sometimes, and like there are some people who just like drive with their hazards. Like, I have driven with my hazards on because something goes wrong with my car.
Yeah, because you're driving slow. It makes sense. There's scenarios for it.
But I feel like sometimes people just drive with their hazards on.
People
Especially in the winter, they just like put their hazards on and drive.
I hate when people put their hazards on the winter and they just drive because it's icy out. It's icy for everyone. You don't need to put, like, everyone can realize that it's icy outside.
It's always hard because you're like, is this person driving just with their hazards on because it's icy, or is there something wrong with their car?
And usually it's because it's icy, I think, but I don't know.
But yeah, there was the one time that I drove and my car was making that rattling noise, and I didn't know what it was, but everyone was like, I think you're safe to drive it to your house. And I was like, okay, I just drive with my hazards on because I was going like 50 only, because if I went to 60, it went and it was really scary. So I was like, hazard 50. But then I was that weirdo at one point that I turned my hazards off so I could speed up a little bit.
So I was going with the story. It wasn't primarily the fact that I was like, my car exploded. I mean, it sucked, but I'm waiting for my dad to
come.
come.
Your car did not explode. Stop saying that.
It exploded into several pieces. Waiting for my dad. Dad finally gets there, and just as my dad gets there, this guy on the oncoming traffic just rips up in this absolute old beater of a car, rolls down his window, he's like, you need help? And I was like, he was like kind of redneck-ish looking guy, and he's like, you need help? And I was like, I think we're good. And he's like, I'll help you anyways. And then he just puts her into 4x and drives over the median and parks in front of my car. He's like, I'll give you a boost. He's like, you know what? I got no problem helping you. And like, no one's even like, we're like, oh yeah, thanks for stopping. But he's like, he was obviously someone that didn't have like a lot of friends or like people to talk to in his life, because you know when people just like overly share to you.
Yes, some personalities are just like that. But they could have lots of friends.
No, he was a nice guy, but like you could tell like he just wanted someone to talk to.
Yeah, but some people just want people to talk to.
Could be.
Some people are not you in like social interaction.
Yeah. Anyways, he's like, yeah, like, you know, it's all good. I'll help you out. Like, he was like making it seem like this guy, like he's a hero. And we're like, we didn't ask you. Like, I mean, I'm appreciative, but it's like he was making it sound like we asked him to stop. But anyways, he was like, yeah, like, I don't mind stopping and helping you out, but like, as long as I get to the dispensary after this. But yeah, my name's Bjorn. I was like, guy's name's Bjorn, like he was in Game of Thrones. Who names their guy Bjorn? Like, is Jon Snow in the backseat too? You know
that like that's based off a culture. So it's
he's probably from some Scandinavian country, but I was like, Bjorn, this guy is straight out of Game of Thrones, and he was kind of rough like a Game of Thrones character too. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. And he's talking to us, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know what, like, no worries, I probably won't get to the dispensary. And then my dad goes to his car, comes back, and my dad just got a handful of weed in his hand.
Oh my god, Keith!
I was like, what the hell, Dad? Like, my dad, like, I'd imagine he dabbled in the devil's lettuce, but he just comes back, he's like, you know what, since you're probably not going to get to the dispensary, take this. And he just dumps a handful of goods into the guy's hands.
In the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road.
By. I mean, weed is legal here, but...
It is legal, but still, it was just like... hey, where did that come? Like, I don't know. He just pulls it out of his back. I've never seen my dad smoke. I've never like he's kind of like
Yeah,
made
like,
jokes about it and stuff, but I've never seen him smoke. I've never seen him like talk about any type of like.
if it was anyone in my family, it would not be weird. But coming from
That's
your
what I mean.
family,
It's
it's
so-
weird.
He's just holding a handful of nugs and he goes, "Oh, you know what? You're not gonna make it to the dispenser. Here you go." Puts it in his hand. Bjorn's like, "Yeah, I'll just go put this in the back seat with Jon Snow," and then friggin'
Yeah,
carries on his day.
I feel like your family's so secretive about like their past and stuff, and then my family, my grandpa's teaching you how to roll the best joint.
Like, that's I don't know. It was just very. It was like shocking for me because my dad like doesn't talk about that stuff with us really. He just comes up with a handful of nugs, and I was like, "Well, this is odd." But yeah, then we boosted my car. We started driving home, and it kept dying like every like.
Did you just have to keep boosting it?
Yes.
Oh my god,
So
that's so embarrassing.
we would boost it, and then I'd drive a little bit, and if you hit a red light, the engine would die because it doesn't have enough power to like keep it going. 'Cause the alternator was done on my car, so as soon as you hit a red light, it would die. So my dad would pull up, boost it again, and as soon as the light would turn green, rip the booster cables off, slam the hood down, drive until you get to the next light. You hit the next red light, you'd have to pop the hood, boost it again. As soon as the light's green, boom, punch it again.
Should have just called Amy.
So we ended up getting my car home, even though it was exploded.
It didn't explode.
And yeah, so now I gotta fix my car. That was my weekend. And then now we're here talking about it. But my dad is a Secret Service agent selling drugs. No, he's not selling. Don't put that. No.
He's also not a Secret Service agent.
Don't send him to jail. He's not. It was obviously just his stash. But it was just weird that he just had a stash. And I don't know.
It's also legal here.
It is legal. But I don't know. It's just shocking. I was on the side of the road. And the other thing I found weird was like 3 cops drove past me and not one of them, like while I was standing there by myself with my hood up, not one of them was like, "Are you okay? Can we call you a tow truck?" Like,
It's not really their job to do that.
I don't know. I feel like cops
They're so busy.
or like what if I was like that was a stolen car and it broke down because I stole it and like
well, they have everything.
I don't know, maybe they
They
ran
could have
my license.
run the plates.
But I don't know. I feel like most cops would have like at least rolled down the window and just been like thumbs up, thumbs down, no
I don't
nothing.
think so. Especially now that my sister works for 911 and like she's a 911 operator. They're so like there's not enough cops. Like cuz they have to do so much bullshit calls.
Yeah, I don't know.
And people call for literally no reason and then the cops have to go there and it's like you just wasted a resource.
But I was shocked by like so many people were like honking at me and like it's like what do you want me to do? My car is exploded. Like how many people like I mean
It did not explode.
I have stopped for people to help them, but I've also driven past them. But I'm never like, damn, this guy's burdening my life because his car broke down. Like, it happens to everyone. Like, why are you so butthurt that my car broke down? Like,
They're probably
I don't
more
know.
because your hazards weren't on. And I do get annoyed when someone is like without
My
their hazard because I'm
car
like,
was
how
in
was I supposed to
pieces.
know?
it was literally no longer existent.
I get that, but they didn't know that. But I also have things in the back of my car you put up when your hazards don't work.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter.
New
This is
album.
gonna come out so much later and gonna be not in the hype of her new album. But yeah,
We
new
could.
album.
I could move this if I get edited. But new album out.
Nick hates it. He's got no taste.
I wasn't a fan of it. I know it's like all hyped up and stuff, but like I just thought it was going to be much more poppy, and it is pop, but I feel like there's a heavy folk presence in it that I just didn't really see coming from her, and it's not really my
I don't-
jam of music. So like it could be good music, but it's just not my style. So maybe that's why I'm not a fan of it. But
It's interesting because I don't think it's that different. Besides, she's put a little bit more twang into her voice, but like the style of it is not that different than Emails I Can't Send.
but I don't like the like twangy, like even like twangy. I don't mind country music, but as soon as it goes like twangy and like I'm not gonna say folky, but like twangy, it's not my
Nick has no taste. It is so good.
it's not my
I still
jam.
like
I
Emails
don't.
I Can't Send better, but there are no skips. And like she's just so
No.
funny. Like if you look at the lyrics of them all, like she's so good with her words and like
She is a great lyric writer. I will give her that. The lyrics are good. They're clever. I don't think the lore hit as much for me after like until you explained it to me that there was a lot of
Juno.
um
I'm actually curious if like how many people understand the Juno reference of that song.
explain it.
Well, she has a song Juno, and she says in it like maybe I'll let you make me Juno. And I feel like it's a very millennial movie, but there's the movie Juno where a guy and a girl like he gets her accidentally pregnant. And then they're dealing with that in the movie. So she's essentially saying, baby, I'll let you pop a baby in me accidentally.
She's got good wordplay, but also I didn't know that like half of it, there's lore behind it because I didn't know half of it was about like Shawn Mendes and the.
I mean, it's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure it's about Shawn Mendes, a lot of it. And then there's like the one song called Bed Chem. She talks clearly about her like current boyfriend. Like, she talks about his white jacket and the accent, and that's like some of the things he's known for.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know any of that stuff, so like the lines don't hit as hard for me. But also that Taste one, like the whole song is about like her having possibly Shawn Mendes allegedly first. But didn't Camila Cabello date him first? No, I'm confused on that one. Like, how is she saying that?
It's not about first. It's just that like when you go back to him, you have to know that like I had him too. So like,
yeah, but Camila Cabello had him first.
Yes, but Camila has also written songs we're pretty sure about Sabrina Carpenter. Like, that's just like, and the thing is, it's not confirmed either.
Allegedly.
Like, it's just like the theories everyone's making. But like, I don't know. Like, the songs hit for me before I knew the lore. Like, I just like the lyrics, I think, regardless, are like catchy and bangy, and like, I was like jamming out to them, and one listen through, and I could like, I like when I can listen to a song once, and by the end of the song, I'm already singing along.
I like songs like that too, and I feel like none of them I wanted to sing along to, personally. I didn't find it that good of a album, personally.
No taste.
I think Espresso was the best song on it, and I don't really think there was any really other contenders on it. Maybe that other one that sounds like Under the Sea by Ariel.
Please, please, please.
The riff of that at the start sounds like it's out of that Disney movie.
I do see that. No, there's so many bangers on it. Like, I think you're wrong. Like, I don't understand. So, like, I literally cannot compute that I'm dating you and you don't like this
folky.
album.
Like, it's not even, like, I don't know. I personally think it sounds like a Taylor Swift folk album.
Taylor Swift is also a banger, like, popular. Like, I don't, she writes some of the best music known to man, and you just don't like it. And you think this is my problem, is it's often, you've been really good at phrasing it as your opinion on this time, but often you'll be like, it sucks. Instead of being like, I don't like it, you, like, will talk about it like it's terrible.
Well, that's not what I mean. I think, personally, I think a good song is it catchy? Does it sound good? Like, the whole like harmonics of it, like, does it catch your ear easily? And the lyrics are good. That's to me what makes up a good song.
All of Sabrina Carpenter's songs.
I think her lyrics, I was gonna do this one, but this was the finger I used to, never mind. I think her lyrics are really good for it, but I didn't find any of them really overly catchy except for Espresso.
They were
like
all
ear catching,
catchy.
Like the melodies and like all the stuff. Like I
don't get it.
I can say like even though I have absolutely no idea what's being said in a Spanish song, I can be like, okay, that harmonically and like stimulates my brain that it's like a good song and it sounds cohesive and good.
But this is your own opinion, because
yes, those are my factors that I think makes the song good.
Your opinion on those factors, because you can say all those factors, and I think Sabrina Carpenter hit all of those. So
that's a fair comment, but
it's your opinion on the factors. It's not that she doesn't do those things; it's that they don't hit what you think makes a good song. Like,
I agree. I just like don't
in your
feel
head.
like it fell in my bucket.
And it's just wrong.
And I think she has good music.
You don't like Taylor Swift songs either, and I can't understand it. Did you watch the video I sent you of Tate McRae?
Her new music?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds good. What song is that? She sampled like a song that's already a popular song.
I have no idea. I never know when people sample things.
It's like the melody and like the rhythm of it they definitely took from another song. At least that's what it sounds like, but it sounds good.
Kind of curious. I was talking about this with Lexi and my sister, and like when me and Lexi listen to music and we talk about things, we often align on songs, but like Lexi's thinking about the music. Like, she's a music degree, so she's thinking about the music. She like really wants like the melody to stand out and be unique and really catch her. I don't really care. That's like background to me, and I'm more about the lyrics and stuff. And so I'm curious if you're like, people watching this, if you're like a lyric listener or like a melody listener. And obviously you want both to be good. Like, in your perfect world, both are good, but like that's what like catches you more. So my sister and me are both lyric listeners, and like I just want to be able to sing along to a song. Like, if there's no lyrics in a song, I'm 100% not liking it.
That's what I like. My factors, like I said, is all of that.
Well, it's always all of that for everyone. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I feel like there's one that like catches you more. Like, you like are
I'm more
listening
likely to kind of like a YouTube video, like skip through it to kind of see if there's something catchy in it to see if I want to keep listening.
See, like,
does that make sense? Like, sometimes like if the song's really slow, or like like the first like 10 or 15 seconds of it, like which is usually the melody or the first couple words of the song. If it doesn't catch my ear, I'll like speed through it a little bit
Blasphemy.
and see if it gets better or like there's something catchy about it. But if there's not something catchy, sometimes I'll just skip the song.
Blasphemy. Like when I listen to an album,
But
like
yes, I did listen to the Sabrina
I
Carpenter
have
in
to listen
full.
to the album like all the way through how it is. Like I want to like listen and experience the album. And like I'm always like when I listened to Sabrina Carpenter, I was like, this is iconic that she put this song after this song because like this song was about this. So like she has a bed chem, which is literally about like meeting a guy and thinking they'd be really good in bed and then like taking them home for the first time. And then the next song is Espresso, which is about a guy being like addicted to her. And so I was like, I thought that was iconic that she put them like after each other because it's telling a story.
I do like the like I'm gonna call it lore again of like the album creation. I find it cool and fascinating, like how they put it together, and I do think that that is a cool thing. But for the longevity of an album, does that really matter? Because like it's cool for the initial release, but like if you download an album like the Black Bear album, I thought it was really good, but they had like a lot of like skits and like things in their songs, and like even just like how they
I
put
don't
like
like the skits.
the interlude like in the
Yeah.
middle with the skip, and like I get it if you're listening to it in full, but like how often are you listening to it in full in like 5 years?
I listen
Most
to
of the
a
times-
lot of albums in full still, but
Like I'll download the album, and then once I've went through it once or twice, then I just delete all the like random like
I never delete
interludes
things.
and like random like skits and shit, because realistically I don't give a shit. I listened to it through once, it was cool, but like for the longevity album, like to have a hit album, is it better to just put like banger after banger after banger so that it
No.
gets the streams and the plays and it gets ranked at the top, or is it better to like make a cohesive, lay it out because this song flows to this one and this story blends to this story, and then it's like you had an up song, so let's put a down song.
But also, I think it's dependent on who you are as an artist. Like Taylor Swift's a storyteller, and so like all of her albums have a flow. And like I think longevity wise, if you think about it, like all of Taylor Swift's tracks are like similar. So like people would be like track 11. I think it's track 13 actually. That's like her saddest song on every single album. So everyone's like excited when they see the track list and the track title, and you see track 13. You're just like, holy crap, that's gonna break our heart. Like she just like she follows the same pattern. Like like track one's gonna be like this upbeat like welcome to the album, and like people have playlists of just track 13s that they just listen to out of all 8 of her albums. They're like, I'm in my feels, let's listen to track 13. I'm wrong, and Swifties are gonna yell at me that I used the wrong track, but like I know it's one of her tracks.
That's a cool concept, but I feel like it still doesn't have like maybe she does have interludes and like skits or
She doesn't
whatever,
do skits and stuff.
but like I
don't like
I
the
don't
skits.
think the skits are good for the longevity of an album.
I don't like the skits either, but what I was just talking about is like the storytelling of the album and the songs placed. I don't like skits. I don't even like when they have like a intro voice thing. She does typically have a voice note that she releases at the end.
There's
Normally in
kind
like
of
a
a skit.
bonus thing.
Yeah.
But it's normally like a minute long.
That's what I mean by skits, though. And I mean, if she does one at the end, it's not the end of the world. But like, some people got one at the start, one in the middle, one at the end.
No.
That's like the most like common. But like, even there was one, the Weeknd album, and that was kind of when I stopped listening to it. The whole thing, the whole vibe of it was like it was like a radio talk show. Like it was cool. Like it was like, so they'd like bring it in, and be like, on today's whatever his album was called, FM, we're playing track 1 called blah blah blah, and like the whole thing was like. But like every single song had like some like intro to it like that. And it was like, I just want to listen to the damn music.
I do think in some ways
It was a really cool concept, but after you listen to it through once, it's like, okay, like please upload the album with just the music, please.
I think part of this though is like eventually when an artist like makes their name, they're allowed to be like this creative storyteller, and like doing things like that is really cool for your soul, I think. And like they don't need hit song after hit song anymore. Like The Weeknd, people are going to listen to it, and there will be people that listen to that thing over and over again. Taylor Swift sells vinyl records constantly. She sells like 7 versions of the same album with different covers, and people buy them and then just like listen to the album. Like vinyls are back in, and that means people are listening to albums.
I agree. I do appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the creative geniusness of it, but like, and the ability to like express yourself, because I think that's part of the hardest part about being a creative is like, I want to do this because I think it would be cool and it's a really cool idea, but how are people going to take it? And like getting over that hurdle of like not caring what people think and not caring about what the numbers are going to do, if it's going to make me money, if it's going to get the views, but just putting out something that you're like proud of and like is cool. And like I appreciate the coolness of it, but it's like I haven't listened to The Weeknd since because I was like, which is my own faults, but like I don't know, sometimes like I listen to something that I don't like and then I just don't go back to an artist. And it's not like vengeful, that's not the word, like spiteful. It's not like, it's just, I don't know, I just lost my interest kind of, where it's like you put out a good album, it's like, oh, I can't wait to get the next album. But it's like, and not saying that it was a bad album, but I don't know.
Which I think like it's fair, but like I do think that you are often thinking about numbers over like your creative soul and like just like loving what you do and experiencing that. And I think that's something like an album full of top 40 songs, Espresso and Nonsense, both Sabrina Carpenter songs I love and I think they're so catchy, are not the best songs on albums for me because there's no like soul, like true soul to them. They're hit bangers. They're the singles. They're the shake it off. They're the singles that are stuck in your head forever. You can sing every word to. You're gonna dance really hard, but like the lyrics don't hit that hard for me. Like they're fun and they're catchy, but like
but those are the classics now. Those are all the songs you go back to and play when you're doing a karaoke night, or you're 20 years later playing songs for like going back to like 2000 hits, or like playing songs for your kids. It's all the like the jammers.
I don't think so for me. Like my parents aren't that way either. They were sharing that like this was an album that like my parents did this a lot. They'd be like, this is an album that changed my life, and we listened to an album with them, or like I went to this concert, so let's listen to this. Like
that's fair.
Like we listened to all of Fleetwood Mac a couple times, or like they weren't just showing me like the top 100 of that year.
I guess looking at it from like the longevity of an artist and like making sure that they have like a longing career, do you want and like be around in like 20 years or 10 years? Is it better to just put out banger, 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 banger?
I disagree, because I don't think that's good for your soul. And I think artists like Taylor Swift do so well because you can tell that Taylor Swift is not writing for anyone besides herself. She's writing because it's something she has to do. Like some of her songs, it's probably why you don't like them as much. They're more like storytelling. They're not as catchy banger because it's like she experienced something, and to get past it, to move on, she had to like write it down. And I think that's why people love Taylor Swift, because you can tell she loves what she does.
Yes. And I think that's why she's as big as she is, because she did what she wanted to do, which led her to like branch out in all these different genres and areas. Because like
she's gone country, she's gone pop.
She was originally country.
Yeah, her first album was very country.
So can you imagine blowing up in country and then say, I'm gonna make a pop album? Fuck it.
That's what is so incredible about her, is like she's experienced so many different things,
and she just like stuck with her gut, which I do think like if you just naturally do what you want to do, I do agree. I think it'll be better in the long run, even if it's not what people want now. I do think that's the better thing, because look at her, she's huge now because she did pop, she did country, she did folk, and she still gets millions and millions, and she just did what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. And we all relate to it, I feel like, because I'm a different person. Like I'm the same person, but I'm a different person in every aspect of my life every couple of years. Like we've changed so much. I mean, like I'm experiencing new things, I'm experiencing different things, and I feel like I relate to Taylor Swift in that way, because like each album feels like this was a part of her life.
I agree.
So like yes, like banger after banger, but then like you become like what, like Fetty Wap, who like had so many bangers when we were like, and then like you just get, I feel like I get bored of them. Like if you give me no substance, I don't care about you as an artist.
Part of that I think is he went to jail.
Well, yes.
He had one album of bangers, and then I think he went to jail, and then he didn't really put music out for a while, and so people lost the hype that way.
But like I just don't care if it's banger after banger. Like where's the substance for me?
Come on. Yeah, baby.
Like I love
that album that brings me back to,
I love a good Fetty Wap jam, but
coming
like
back to, I remember going on SoundCloud when SoundCloud first started being a thing, and I'm gonna be hipster, I'm gonna say I was like one of the first people on SoundCloud, and I was listening to it. Oh, why does my camera hate me? I remember finding Fetty Wap on there before he was big, and then I went to school and we were listening to it in the school gym. Played it for a few people, and then all of a sudden the whole school was listening to the song.
Oh my god.
And then Fetty Wap over the next summer was huge, ginormous, and everyone was 1738. Yeah, baby. Yeah, oh, Fetty Wap brings me back to I remember vividly playing that song for Thomas in the gym. Like it just brings me back there hearing Trap Queen.
There's like, I don't know. I just like I want. Maybe it's just like who I am and like what I'm going through. Like I like when I can relate to a song, but then I also like I'm also an Ariana Grande stan, and Ariana Grande. There are some really like she has some really deep songs. I won't like say that, but like most of hers are like catchy. I mean, I think that's why I also personally really like Sabrina Carpenter's album. It gave me a lot of Ariana Grande vibes, and she did open up for Ariana Grande.
I don't think she gives me Grande vibes at all.
Like, no, but you wouldn't like Bed Chem, which is just about like I'm fucking hot, and like her vocal cord, like her notes and her range, like the little like
yes,
that's all Ariana Grande. Like not like the music maybe itself, but like
okay, I agree.
She's like, I think Ariana Grande and Sabrina Carpenter are both very much like I'm fucking hot and I know it. Like I have this money, I'm popular, like let me like
my pussy is
literally pussying. Like think about like break up with your boyfriend because I'm bored by Ariana Grande. Like it's very much just like come like I am a snack. And like I feel like that's kind of fun to like
sucking
be
on
confident
them.
and like when you're listening to the music you can just like be like I'm a hot bitch. But then like I also want to cry sometimes and I listen to Taylor Swift and I'm like I'm crying because this song is so depressing. But then I don't know, like I want like I listen to music for like moods and tones and like I just like the substance. I was gonna talk about how Tate McRae was totally lip syncing in that video.
Oh, that's where that started? Oh, I didn't know that. I just listening to the song.
I guarantee you she was lip syncing.
Could be. She probably doesn't know the lyrics for it yet. Like realistically, like it takes you a while to remember your songs.
My thought is because I don't know if you watched the whole thing. I don't know if I sent you the thing where like she did like a little video trailer of her like I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. Let's go get the head mic because everyone comments on every video of her like get this girl a head mic because she's dancing so much. The thing is though, when you put a head mic on, people expect you to sing the entire time. You cannot sing and dance the way Tate McRae dances. So when she has like this mic, when she's dancing, she's clearly not singing.
A lot of hip hop concerts, they play the song and the artist is like, because a lot of them are so fast paced, you physically could not sing all the lyrics because like most of the times like how you record a rap or song is like you say a line. Like you can't say it like physically that fast. So you record a line and you record another line. And some do it. Some do it.
I'm like, Eminem sings Rap God.
Yes, it happens.
Like, talent is talent.
I've been in the studio with artists and that's how like a lot of songs recorded. I've watched videos on them. That's how a lot of them get recorded.
Yes.
So like a lot of them, they play the song and they rap over the parts or the hooks that they can, but they don't physically sing the whole song. So the song is playing, but they do voice over some of the stuff that they can say. Most
artists have like a backtrack, but you can like when Taylor Swift sings, you can hear her singing.
Yes.
Like you can hear the difference. You can hear when she's not singing. And I definitely think Tate McRae was lip syncing that because she's singing the entire time while she's dancing, and there's no possible way. Like you could have the best breath control ever, and like she's breaking into like real dancing. Like not like I love Taylor Swift, but like not like Taylor Swift's like like she's dancing, but like she's really just like waving things around and her dancers are dancing and it makes you like think that she's like dancing. Yeah, Tate McRae is like watch her after the show, she's sweating because she danced so much. So with that head mic on and she's definitely lip syncing all those lines, which I have nothing against it. You do you when you have to do you. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, I wonder how many people realize that she's probably lip syncing half of this.
I got one more thing I was thinking of yesterday, completely unrelated.
Okay.
I was be so dumb. You're not even gonna. This is more for the people because you're just gonna make fun of me. And you're not gonna think this ever. Do you?
I can't even
say it because I know it's dumb. As a child, and sometimes now, it crosses my brain that humans die because they didn't get blessed once in their life. Okay, now hear me out. Listen, I was always told that the concept of bless you was the devil was entering you or you were gonna die. That's why it originated.
It's your soul's escaping.
Yes, so you were going to die eventually. So they said bless you to try and prevent you from dying eventually. So I always thought as a child, when you blessed or when you sneezed and no one was around to bless you, That's why all humans died. Because sometime in your life, you sneezed and you didn't get blessed.
This is fair because
And I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, shit, I just sneezed. And this is the reason I'm going to die eventually.
I say bless me. Like, if you notice when I sneeze, I automatically say bless me. And it's because when I was younger, I would sneeze and my sister would start counting. She'd go, 1, 2, 3. And I would go, just say it already.
See, so you have kind of thought about it.
And Amber would go, 3 seconds of your soul escaped.
So savage.
So now I say bless me, and it's just like ingrained into me that I can't stop it. I always say bless me when I sneeze.
I don't know. That's always something I've thought about. It's like the reason that I'm going to die, whatever, if I get hit by a car or whatever the reason is, old age. The root cause of it was because someone didn't say bless me once
valid.
in my life.
Valid. I get that one. But I'm a ginger, so I don't have soul anyways. So I don't know what soul was escaping me.
Devil. That's, I think, all I got. I think we wrap her up. Our producer's sleeping behind the mic anyways. So they're bored of the podcast, probably like everyone else.
Oh my lord.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Also, go get your pumpkin drinks because it's PSL season, baby.
Subscribe. We're probably at 100. I hope we're at 100 by the time this episode comes. But subscribe.